Welcome to Trending Update USA, and I am Steffan bringing you one of the biggest breaking developments from the WTA Finals, a story that has sent shockwaves through the tennis world and reshaped the narrative of this season-ending showdown. Tonight we revisit a battle loaded with history, emotion, pressure, and power as Aryna Sabalenka, the world's most feared hitter and one of the fiercest competitors in the women's game, has overcome defending champion Coco Gauff to secure her place in the semifinals of the WTA Finals. This match was not only a contest of physical strength but a full-on psychological war, and its outcome is now echoing far beyond the boundaries of this tournament. What unfolded on court was a confrontation of contrasting styles, a test of resilience, and a moment that now marks a significant turning point for both players. And as fans across the world try to digest the meaning of this result, we break down every layer of what this victory means for Sabalenka, for Gauff, for the future of their rivalry, and for the state of women's tennis. From the very first moment Sabalenka stepped on court, there was something different in her presence. Determined, fierce, and laser-focused, she looked like a woman on a mission, one determined to reclaim authority over a matchup that has evolved into one of the sport's most compelling rivalries. Coco Gauff entered the court as the reigning champion of this elite event, carrying expectations, the memory of last season's triumph, and the pressure that comes with defending a title on a stage reserved for the world's best. But Sabalenka, with a commanding aura and unmistakable intensity, came ready to dismantle any comfort zone Gauff hoped to rely on. And as the points unfolded, the power of Sabalenka, the aggression in her shot-making, and the clarity of her execution slowly swallowed Gauff's space, rhythm, and confidence. This match reminded the world why Sabalenka is such a dominant force in modern tennis. Her serve boomed with authority, her returns came back with interest, and her ground strokes were propelled with the kind of fearless velocity that few players can absorb. Gauff, who built much of her success over the past season with athletic defense, quick transitions, and mental composure, found herself repeatedly pushed outside her comfort zone. Sabalenka struck the ball early, stepped into the court, and dictated rallies with a confidence that felt unshakable. She wasn't just hitting winners, she was sending a message. She was saying, loudly and emphatically, that she remembered last year, that she remembered the heartbreaks, the tough losses, the learning curves, and the moments when Gauff had the upper hand. This time, she came ready to rewrite that story. Gauff started with energy and determination, but as Sabalenka's relentless pressure grew, cracks appeared. The defensive positioning that often works so well against other opponents simply wasn't enough against Sabalenka's level of firepower. Each time Gauff attempted to reset the rally, Sabalenka responded with early strike aggression, flattening balls down the line, opening the court with brute strength, and leaving Gauff scrambling to stay in points. It wasn't just the shot-making, it was the clarity of Sabalenka's mindset. She played with belief. She played as if the outcome was inevitable. And when a player with that level of physical weaponry combines it with unwavering mental discipline, the result becomes incredibly difficult to counter. Gauff fought with heart, as she always does. She chased every ball, tried to adjust her positioning, attempted to add more aggression to avoid being pinned behind the baseline. But Sabalenka's precision today made the difference. She found lines, she attacked second serves, she refused to let Gauff settle into any rhythm. Even when the rallies extended, Sabalenka remained patient when needed and explosive when the opportunity appeared. She blended power with calculation, a mixture that has become her signature during her best moments. And today, those best moments came in waves. For the defending champion, the emotional weight of this loss was visible. She came into this matchup hoping to extend her title defense and reassert her place as one of the most adaptable players on tour. But tennis evolves quickly, and matchups evolve even quicker. Sabalenka's adjustments, her upgraded tactical discipline, and her refusal to let Gauff dictate even a fraction of the match created a mountain too steep for the American star to climb today. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a lesson delivered with brutal clarity. Gauff now faces the off-season ahead with a set of questions that will shape her evolution: how to become more aggressive in big moments, how to elevate her serve under pressure, how to break free from defensive patterns that elite power hitters like Sabalenka can expose. But make no mistake, This is not a story of Gauff falling short. This is a story of Sabalenka rising to the moment. She has endured tough losses throughout the season, faced scrutiny, and fought through internal battles with confidence and consistency. For her to walk into this matchup against the defending champion and take control from start to finish shows maturity, growth, and the kind of championship-ready determination that defines legends. As she sealed the final point and let out her roar, a roar that fans know well and associate with her trademark competitiveness, the message reverberated around the arena: Aryna Sabalenka is here to take command of the WTA Finals. Her victory today sends her into the semifinals with momentum, belief, and a psychological edge that many competitors will fear. She has shown the field that when she plays at this level, with this level of fire and precision, she becomes nearly unstoppable. This match also adds another chapter to one of the most electrifying rivalries in the sport. Sabalenka and Gauff have battled on the biggest courts in the world: US Open, Grand Slams, Masters Finals, and now the WTA Finals. Their clashes always feel charged, always feel significant, always feel like previews of the sport's future. And today's encounter reinforces that this rivalry is far from finished. Sabalenka's win resets the dynamic, reignites the competitive balance, and sets up what many believe will be years of high-stakes matchups between these two stars. Gauff, despite the loss, remains one of the brightest forces in tennis. Her season was filled with highlights, deep runs, big wins, and continued development as a global star both on and off the court. Losses like this one hurt, but they shape champions. Every great player, from Serena to Djokovic to Federer, has faced moments where a rival exposed weaknesses that demanded evolution. Gauff now stands at that crossroads. This loss will likely fuel her off-season improvement, push her coaching team to introduce new tactical variations, and motivate her to return next year with renewed purpose. The heart she shows, the composure she carries, and her ability to rise after setbacks remain some of her greatest strengths. For Sabalenka, the journey doesn't end with this victory. Her eyes are set on the trophy, on the title that has eluded her before, on the chance to finish the season with a championship that reflects her growth as an athlete and competitor. She enters the semifinals with confidence, momentum, and a blueprint of unstoppable tennis that she hopes to carry through to the end of this event. The field should be on alert because Sabalenka today showed she is peaking at exactly the right time. The global tennis community is buzzing with reactions. Analysts are praising Sabalenka's upgraded tactical discipline. Commentators are calling it one of her most mature performances. Fans are taking to social media to celebrate her dominance. Meanwhile, many are also expressing sympathy and support for Gauff, recognizing the tough challenge she faced and the strength she showed even in defeat. These two players continue to draw massive attention because they represent something bigger than themselves. They represent the evolution of women's tennis, the clash of styles, the contrast of personalities, and the future of elite athletic rivalries. Tonight's match was not just a sporting contest. It was a narrative-rich confrontation filled with emotion, tension, and championship stakes. It was a reminder that tennis at its highest level is about moments, about belief, about the ability to rise when everything is on the line. And Sabalenka did exactly that. She rose. She conquered. She advanced. As we move deeper into this year's WTA Finals, the spotlight now shifts to the semifinals where Sabalenka will attempt to continue her electrifying run. Will her power overwhelm the next opponent? Will her composure remain steady under semi-final pressure? Will she carry the fire from today into what could become a historic moment in her career? Those questions will soon be answered, but for now the headline stands strong. Aryna Sabalenka has defeated the defending champion Coco Gauff and has punched her ticket into the semi-finals. For Coco Gauff, the road forward is filled with opportunity. She leaves the tournament with experience, clarity, and lessons that will push her to evolve. Even champions stumble, but it is the response that defines their legacy. And if history tells us anything about Coco, it's that she will rise stronger, smarter, and more prepared for the battles ahead. For Sabalenka, the journey continues with flames burning brighter than ever. For the fans, this was a match to remember. And for the future of the sport, this rivalry promises more unforgettable chapters. This has been Trending Update USA, and I am Steffan bringing you the full breakdown of this monumental result from the WTA Finals. Stay tuned as we continue delivering the latest updates, the biggest storylines, and the most compelling tennis coverage from across the globe. The season isn't over, the drama isn't done, and the battles ahead promise even more intensity as the WTA Finals march toward the championship round.